Hi, I'm going to make some freezer jam. And there's a couple different ways you can make it. You can make it with pectin that you cook, or you can make it with pectin that you don't cook. And with the pectin that you cook, you have to take 3/4 cup of water, and you pour in your pectin without spilling it all over, and you stir it for 1 minute. And it should look milky. And freezer jam, what freezer jam is just jam that you don't have to cook the fruit. And it will stay for a year if you keep it in the freezer, or for about a month in the refrigerator if you keep it cool. So the main difference between freezer jam and real jam is that, to me, freezer jam tastes more like the fresh fruit because you don't have all the flavors cooked out of it from cooking your berries. But it's just way simpler. My grandma used to make jam, and she would can, and what she'd have to do is she would have to boil the jars and the lids and use wax on the top of it. That's about a minute. And so for this kind, you're going to use 3 cups of berries, which I've got right here, and 5½ cups of sugar, which is a lot of sugar. I also try to do it sometimes with only half the sugar, but then it comes out like syrup. And I don't strain my berries. A lot of people like to strain the seeds out, but my husband really likes the crunch of the seeds, so I leave it just like the regular fruit. And then you stir this all up till you get the sugar incorporated with the berries and the pectin, and then you just put it in the containers. And I'm going to give some as gifts, and hopefully some will last around here. I try to stir it enough too so that the granulated sugar will kind of dissolve. Otherwise it's crunchy, and you don't like the crunch on any kind of jam or anything like that. But this jam, I wish you could smell it, it's so fruity, and I like all kinds of jam. Berries are my favorite fruit. I like blackberries best of all, and I like it in pie and cobbler smoothies, but I love it in jam on toast. So this is about a minute of stirring, and you can see how it starts to really look like it's incorporated very well. And I buy, for freezer jam, you don't have to use the cans. You don't have to boil your cans and all that. You can buy just regular Tupperware kind of things, just these little containers. Or I use these little ones like this for gifts, because it takes a lot of berries to make jam. So I like to give some, but you know, just a small little taste of it. So freezer jam only takes about 4 minutes to make, as opposed to all day. If you're making regular jam and you're boiling your jars and your lids and trying to make sure you got the seal right, it will take you all afternoon, especially if you're cutting up peach jam or something like that. But for blackberry jam like this, it'll only take you about 4 minutes to make it. Of course, you got to clean your berries, so say a ½ hour max. And I like to make things that remind me of my mom's kitchen and my grandma's cooking, but I don't have the time they had. They stayed home. My grandma was always at home, and so I just like to get the taste of it without the time, because I work full time. And this is about 3 minutes worth. So now I'm just going to ladle some into the containers, and then it will set. It takes about, well, it'll start to thicken right away, but it will overnight thicken up even more. And you can see how it's getting thick. And you can reduce your sugar a little bit if you want to have syrup. And we use the syrup over waffles and pancakes, even over ice cream. So there you have it. That's one kind of freezer jam. That's the kind of freezer jam that you use the cooked pectin with. Now, if you're going to make the other kind of jam, which you don't even have to heat up the pectin, you use, I'll tell you, 4 cups of crushed fruit and only 1.5 cups sugar. So you're using less sugar. I like that about it. But to be honest, my opinion is that the pectin that you cook actually turns out better than this one, in my opinion. I mean, this is easier because you don't have to do any cooking, and you just stir it up. You got your berries, your sugar, and then you just pour in your pectin. And this is just a freezer jam, fruit pectin, no cook, and so you can get it at any store, grocery store. And it will still be really tasty. It's just, I think that the sugar, for some reason, is a stronger flavor in this one. And I like to have the fruit be the stronger flavor. And you just stir it up till it's incorporated really well. And this one I've noticed doesn't seem to stiffen as much or set. They call it setting, as the pectin where you cook it. And then I'm going to put some, I just want to make sure that I really stir it up well. So I've got that pretty well stirred. And then I'll ladle some using this one. Let me see, I'll use this one over here. So then I'm going to ladle a little bit into these little containers. And before I put them in the fridge, I'll wipe them all down. And then just put a plastic lid on it. These are screw lids. And it seals pretty well. And it will keep for about a month. So there you have it. There's 2 different kinds of freezer jam, and it will stay a year if you put it in the freezer and about a month if you keep it in the refrigerator. So if you try it, I hope you like it. Thanks.